Hey folks, I wanted to make a video about this outmigration issue. I've been speaking to a lady called Mahit, is that how you say it? Bookcase. And she's got some groups on Facebook and I think on WhatsApp too, but Facebook is Sarah, Sarah, Sarah in America, Sarah, and she's a refugee with experience dealing with the agencies and how to get results. And I'm agreeing with her on this post she sent me, and I'd like to go through it a little bit. Important advice for anyone thinking about outmigration, moving to another state. If you are resettled by a resettlement agency in a state with very little support, and you are thinking of moving to another state, here are important things you really need to know first. Very little support, or well, they're putting you in a hotel that is full of prostitutes and drug addicts in a bad area, or they've got you in a decent hotel or half decent hotel, and then they're showing you your accommodation in a bad area, a high crime area, or whatever else terrible things that you see when you go there and you observe. Anyway, those are the two things that could happen in this bad situation. Um, your EAD work authorization card gets mailed to the agency's address when you arrive in the U.S. Well, probably 2 to 3 weeks after you arrive, it arrives. Before you leave, make sure they will forward it to your new address. Well, you will, if you have no friends or family that you would like to out migrate to, and those are the other two. Those are the other two reasons to out migrate. If you don't have those, then you should go to your resettlement and judge it fairly and not be too harsh, but be realistic about what they're presenting you with. Go on Google and Google the crime statistics for the area or the ratings for the schools if you have children, and then see what they're offering for you. But yes, so you can apply for the Social Security number in any state. You can walk in and make an appointment. That's true, or make an appointment. Um, the walk-ins for the Social Security, they're spotty. A lot of offices don't allow walk-ins. You've got to check on that. You cannot work only with the EAD. You need the actual physical EAD card and your Social Security number together. Most employers only ask for the number, the Social Security number. Employers need the SSN for taxes and e-verification. Yes, that's true. They can get heavy fines if they hire without proper papers. You might get lucky and find someone that takes a chance, but it's highly unlikely. Okay. Now, the PIR, Program of Initial Resettlement. So I spoke about the two bad cases that you won't know are bad until you get there. But there are two other reasons to outmigrate, and one of them is if you have family or friends that you wanted to be put near, but they didn't listen, and you really want to be near them. Another is if you have a job that's offered to you, and they did not listen to that CWS back in South Africa, and they've put you far away from that. So you really must move to start this job. And I hope you have housing. That will be difficult, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on hotels. And okay, so the program of initial resettlement is worth $2,450 per person, and sometimes they call it a flex fund thing, and give you only $2,000. They use this for your initial expenses, so you only get what is left when you initially cash out. So the two cases where you have friends or family or a job, and you already know that you're going to outmigrate, what you need to do, very, very important, is to look in the envelope they're giving you when you get on the plane. See who your caseworker is, where you're going, and you'll know that you have to outmigrate. You must contact the agency immediately and tell them not to spend any money on you. Don't put you in a permanent accommodation. Don't sign any lease for you, and that you are going to outmigrate. That's really important. You already know that you're going to be leaving this place. Um, so you're in the air. You're on the plane. You want to tell them this. You don't want them spending all your money. If you don't do this early, they will use up most of your PIR money, and you will have very little left when you outmigrate. That's true. Communication is everything. Okay, now she says, before you move, reach out to an agency in a new city or state and ask them to take your case. Well, I disagree with this because 95% of the time you won't be able to get the new agency on the phone that is in that new area you're moving to. They just don't answer the phone. It goes to voicemail. Uh, and then they don't answer a voicemail for a random person calling, usually. Uh, so it doesn't matter. They will take your case. You have to walk in the office in person and say, here I am. I'm a refugee. Here is my documentation. I've outmigrated from this place and now I'm here. Would you help me with this or this? So, what the refugee resettlement agencies do for you that no one else can do for you is they apply for your EAD, and they do that when you're on the plane because they've got all your information. They apply for it. It takes time to be processed, 2 or 3 weeks before it reaches the office by mail. And the other thing, they need to make the medical appointments for you. Um, and so these can be, I think, sent to the USCIS. I'm not sure. For your future green card application. So you're all up to date medical wise and vaccine wise. The third thing is sometimes in some states, adults with no children cannot get the Medicaid, and they must rely on the resettlement agency to apply for refugee medical assistance. And this must be done quickly because it's only supposed to last for 4 months in some states. So if you've got needs, that's very important that you get on these people to do this for you if you're in that state. But you can do the Social Security yourself. There's a video on my channel about getting this number quickly. You can go to the social services office in that state and apply for whatever benefits that you're entitled to in that state and the Medicaid. So you might get TANF, temporary assistance for needy families, or you might not. We know the food stamps is a no-go. And the people getting EBT cards to use for food, those aren't out migrating people. Those are the people who are resettled by the agency, and usually in blue states. Mm. Without your EAD and Social Security in hand, it's very hard to sign a lease or find housing. Well, they don't ask to see the SSN, and the EAD is only used for a photo ID issued by the government until you get the driver's license. They don't know what most landlords don't know what an EAD is. They don't care about it, but it does identify who you are. What they want is a credit score, and you've got none. Landlords do check the credit score, but they do want to know what your employment is, and they want references from your previous rentals, and they want personal references usually. Okay, so that's that part of her post on her group. Final advice: think carefully before you outmigrate. If you don't have your documents set yet, it is probably smarter to stay with your current agency. I don't agree with that. And push hard for the support you need to get your EAD and SSN. Find a job and build some stability first. Well, in my cases of the 4 people who have a good reason to outmigrate, that this doesn't apply. You're going directly to your family or friends or your job, and you can get these other things there. It doesn't help to wait around and spend money in a hotel or be put in a housing situation you're leaving, because they'll put down a deposit for you. Oh darn, the timer's going off on the stove. They'll put down a deposit for you and you'll lose that money. That will be lost. So staying no so and staying in a place where there's gunfire at night, or that's rat infested, or these other bad situations we've heard of, you're not going to stay there. You don't want to stay there just to get these documents. You can get them in your new spot. And if you do the Social Security and the Social Services Office yourself, you'll get it done faster than the agency. If you wait for them to make the appointment and then bring you, or yeah, you can do it yourself. So uh, Marguerite has been dealing with all of these challenges. Communication is everything. You want to be respectful, but you want to advocate for yourself and be uh, strong in your resolve if you're out migrating due to these circumstances. Don't be afraid to seem ungrateful. You're always polite. South Africans are always polite, uh, but be firm if you are out migrating for any of these four reasons. Be very firm with them. And then you start the grievance process if they are giving you problems. And you go up the chain. Your caseworker, case management, the case manager, the head of the organization, and then there is the corporate branch of the organization or the organization above them. Um, do it right if you're having lots of problems. Um, anyway, Marguerite has been dealing with these things, and yes, I believe most of this is correct. But the people who know they're going to leave this place, they open the envelope and see, oh my goodness, I'm going here. This is your chance to save your refugee funds and let them know this is this is going to happen. You must outmigrate in this case, and that will help. That will save some of your refugee funds. It's very important that this gets saved and not dumped into somewhere you're not staying. On the other hand, this resettlement, it's supposed to be resettlement. It's supposed to be semi-permanent, a place where you could stay. And we want this to happen nicely. We want you to be put somewhere you'd want to stay. But sometimes other plans must be made. And I hope that this helps. I hope this information helps you. Have a good day.